And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Skip Happens. This is Skip
Man.
Happens. I know, my name is Skip Clark, and I'm going to start to call this guy family because it's the third time. It's the third time Jet Jurgensmeyer is with us. We're at that point where we stop calling you a guest and just start calling you family. That's what it's about. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But, wow, it's so good to see you, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me back. Yeah, third time's the charm.
Absolutely. And I know Charla McCoy, I mean, she was like, hey, you're going to have Jet on tonight. That's great. I work with him and this and that. And
I love Charla.
Yeah, for those that don't know, she's a big name in Nashville. So
She
that's
is
pretty cool.
legendary and one of the best people ever.
Yep. And there to help you.
Yes.
Not that you need it, because just
I'll take all the help I can get. Honestly, I really will.
So, Jet, I mean, let me just I'm going to go through some of my notes here. You've been acting. You began acting as a child. You had guest roles on such notable TV shows, CSI. Let's see, Grey's Anatomy, which I don't know.
Sir.
What did you do on Grey's Anatomy?
I did one episode when I think I was 5.
It doesn't matter. It's Grey's Anatomy, dude.
It was cool. Yeah, that is very true. I've got a lot of text messages of pictures of me and people going, "Is this you?" I'm like,
okay.
Yeah.
You're like 5, so that was a little bit ago, but still,
was a while back.
Yeah, and Blackish. You've been on Blackish and Will and Grace. Those are all big shows. And then what I'm reading is you played Spanky in The Little Rascals Save This Day. That was like 2014.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, that's pretty cool.
That was a good time.
Yeah, and let's see here. Bobby Anderson in the Disney Channel film Adventures and Babysitting.
Yes,
Adventures in Babysitting. Oh my goodness. And then you had I know, I'm just going to go through these. So, had a recurring live action role as Boyd Baxter. That was on the sitcom Last Man Standing. That wasn't all that long ago. It was like 2018, 2020.
Not too long ago. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And then you've been in movies like American Sniper. Wait a minute. We talked about that, I think, in one of our prior. So what did you play in American Sniper?
Super small role. I think it was actually the smallest role I've ever done. I was the kid that got attacked by the dog during the birthday party, and Chris Kyle's character, freaked out a little bit. That was me, and I actually did get bit by that dog.
Really?
For reals, while filming.
No way.
Yes, I don't.
Well,
I don't think anybody really knows that, because I think technically they could have gotten in trouble. So sorry. I imagine the statute of limitation is up on it. I was young.
Yeah, I would say that's a little bit ago. Well, but okay. And Devil's Knot, you were in that as well. Now, not only the acting, but this is something I do a lot, is a lot of voice acting, voiceover. Was it Young Guapo? Is that how you say that?
Yes, sir.
In 2017, you voiced the young version of the character in the animated feature. And a big one that I know, Pip the Penguin.
For Tots on Disney Junior. Yes,
sir. Oh my God. That was 2019 to 2021. Nani. You did that. Bubble Guppies, right? Isn't that the voice? You were Nani in Bubble Guppies.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy. Stinky Peterson, voice in Hey Arnold in the Jungle Movie. That's cool. And let's see, you've also additional voice work includes roles in Shimmer and Shine, The Stinky and Dirty Show, and The Puppy Dog Pals. Well, what people need to know about you, not only have you been acting, not only have you done the voiceover, but you are an artist. You are a country artist. You dropped a brand new song last Friday. Prove Me Wrong. Tell us a little bit about the song.
Yeah, so I wrote it with 2 of my closest friends, Erica Latza and Kylie Diffie. And it was actually mine and Erica's first time writing with Kylie.
Really? So is Kylie any relation to Joe?
Daughter.
Okay, I kind of figured. I wanted you to say that.
So first time writing with Kylie, and we were all just kind of getting to know each other. And it was right around some rather difficult times that our country was going through, and I had the idea. My parents actually were like, "Man, you should write a song about this." It was right after Charlie Kirk had been killed, and he was on his "Prove Me Wrong" tour around the country, and I brought that idea to Erica and Kylie, and we'd all it was really close to when that had happened, and so we were all just kind of talking about how we were feeling and how we were upset about it, and it was just kind of
Sure.
hard to get in the realm of writing and the right mindset. So we said, well, why don't we just write this song and see what happens? You know, let's at the very least use it as a therapy session to get it off our chest. And I'm so proud of what we were able to create from that. And I love this song. I love the message that it tells, and I don't want people to get mad on either side when it comes to the song. It's just simply saying that everybody has the right to say what they'd like, because free speech is the best thing our country, I think, has ever had. And the second people stop talking, that's when bad things happen.
That's when it does. Yeah, exactly right. Were you, when you were laying all this down, were you afraid of some of the political repercussions you might get? I mean, this world is, I mean, you know, I stay neutral, but still it's just like you said, when people stop talking, trouble starts. And then you as an artist, were you afraid of maybe dividing your fans? Or
I feel like I'd be silly to say no.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, it's not hard when you spend a little bit of time with me or listen to me a little bit. It's not hard to kind of figure out what I believe in.
Sure.
But at the same time, like I said, free speech is the best thing our country's ever come up with and ever had. And I love everybody. I think everybody has the right to believe what they want to believe. That's why we're the land of the free. And yes, because of them. And so that was the ultimate reason why, even though we all knew there could be some repercussion from certain people over the song, we didn't really care, and not in a mean way. We just didn't, because we felt like we were going to say how we feel over it. And I feel like the way that we wrote the song, everybody can understand and relate to. And if you don't like the song because of that, then I'm sorry. I don't really know what to do.
Yeah, no, exactly right. And stand your ground. You do.
Exactly.
I totally get that. Is there a line in that song that hits you the hardest when you hear it back? It's all good.
The first line of the chorus, nobody's living like Jesus said we should. The reason I say that is I don't want people to feel like I'm calling anyone out in specific, saying you're not living like Jesus. We're all sinners, including myself. And I would, again, be silly and stupid to say that I live like Jesus. No, I make mistakes every single day. Just
we all do, brother.
Every one of us. I put my shoes on and my pants on the same way as you.
Exactly.
So we all do that. So, but that line, every time I hear it, it makes me remember that I need to be conscious of that and to live like he said we should.
I love that. It's if someone's hearing "Prove Me Wrong" for the first time, I say, well, I'm going to play it here in a minute, or at least a little bit of it, until somebody yells at me for copyright or whatever it is. But I got the artist right here.
And I wrote it. You're good.
There you go. We're good. And you'll probably get a little notice saying, did you approve this? And just, yes.
Probably.
If someone's hearing "Prove Me Wrong" for the first time tonight, what do you hope they feel by the end?
I hope they feel like it's okay to believe whatever it is that they believe in. You know, the same way that when I wrote and released my song Red, it's no matter what you believe, you have the right to believe that. And I would be a hypocrite to judge you for that, because I don't want you to judge me for what I believe. So I'm not going to judge you for what you believe. So I hope that people remember that.
Yeah, I'm going to play just a little bit of "Prove Me Wrong" right now. This is Jet Jurgensmeyer, everybody. So give it a listen. Here we go.
When did kids stop playing out in the yard? And mamas didn't worry about them going too far. There ain't no wonder left in their eyes. Somebody prove me wrong, 'cause I don't want to be right.
Love that.
Yeah.
Why is letting bullets fly now the only way? 'Cause you couldn't find a good string of words to say. All we do these days is hate and fight. Somebody prove me wrong, 'cause I don't want to be right. Nobody's living like Jesus said we should. They say he doesn't care, 'cause he would change it if he could. Sometimes it seems the world is really gone to hell this time. So somebody prove me wrong, I don't wanna be right. Somebody prove me wrong, I don't wanna be right.
Wow, dude. That is, I'm going to post maybe more of that, under this video once
Please
it's
do.
all posted, because I think everybody needs to hear that. And already I'm getting comments about it. Jason, who's a radio colleague in the Midwest, I think he's in Oklahoma. He said, I listened to it bright and early Friday morning, listened to it at least 7 times. I cried like a baby and became a huge fan instantly. And I can see how that would do that. That is blowing me away. That is
Thank you,
so
Jason.
good.
Thank you. That means a lot. That's really
And
cool.
Jacob Smalley says hello as well. And I don't know if you know Jacob. Yep. He's
Hi.
an artist.
Yes.
He's an artist.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
exactly. So, Jet, tell me a little bit about your songwriting process. And has that changed since the last time you and I sat here chatting?
It changes every now and again. I would say it's right specific. So it depends on who I'm writing with. Like for that co-write, typically I never would have been the one to bring the hook or title in, because whenever I write with Erica, she always has phenomenal hooks and titles just stacked on her phone. So I'll try to come up with a cool melody to fit that or something like that, a chord progression, something melodic. This was more so one of the 1 out of 10 times as opposed to the 9 out of 10 times where she came up with the melody and I actually had that. So it depends on the co-write. There's other times where I kind of will tweak what I bring to the write depending on who I'm writing with.
Are you writing more from lived experience now, or still imagining stories?
Oh,
That's a good one, huh?
yes, very, very good. You'll be able to hear in a few songs that I've recorded that are not released the storytelling side of my songwriting, the imaginative, trying to tell genuinely the best story. What I have been releasing, like Red, Nothing on You, Prove Me Wrong.
Right.
These are all things that if you listen to those 3 songs, the only thing that they don't mention is hunting, and that's about the only thing that doesn't. I hunt. Everything else in those songs is just me. Everything else in those songs, if you listen to those 3 back to back to back, you'll be able to understand who Jet is right away.
God, you gotta love that.
So that is a big part of what I write, and especially what I record as an artist, because I want my audience to be able to feel like they know me, because I'm just me out there on stage.
You know, what's something about Prove Me Wrong that fans won't notice unless you point it out?
Oh my goodness. I
know I'm giving you hard ones tonight. Sorry.
This is in the bridge. It's not really the bridge. It's the end of the song. It's the tag of the song. It says, at some point it's got to turn around. We'll remember we stand on equal ground. That was a little nod to Charlie and what he's been able to do with Turning Point USA. So at some point, everyone will realize that what he was saying, as far as, if you believe that you can prove me wrong, come to the front of the line and come and prove me wrong. So when I start the song off with saying, why is letting bullets fly now the only way? Because you couldn't find a good string of words to say, if you can't beat an argument, that's you don't need to silence the other person just because you couldn't beat their argument. If you want to silence them, beat their stance.
Exactly. And it's pretty awesome what you're doing. Now, you've been in entertainment a long time. You're going to school. By the way, where are you going to school?
I go to Belmont University.
I kind of figured. Right?
Yes, sir.
I kind of figured that. But you've been doing, the entertainment side of things a long time. And who did you feel like you had to prove wrong early on?
I am very much so the black sheep of my family. I'm an only child, but all of my cousins are like siblings to me.
Mm-hmm.
All of my real close friends are like siblings. I believe you choose your family. You're not just necessarily born into them. So a lot of my close friends I consider my family as well. And all of them believed in me, and all of them supported me. But I don't think, personally, I could be wrong, prove me wrong, but I don't believe that everybody necessarily believed that I would, I hate the term, but quote, make it.
Mm-hmm.
So there was always that little chip on my shoulder of wanting to acknowledge the fact and wear the fact that I was the black sheep of the family, like a badge of honor, and make it and be able to look back and say all of those times playing for dive bars of 4 people that weren't even listening, they're watching the football game on the TV. They paid off.
Right. Yeah, you proved them wrong.
Yes, sir.
So to speak. But, is there ever a moment where doubt creeps in? And if it does, how do you shut it down as an artist? You've done so much and you're still really young. So, I mean, how do you shut it down when you feel the doubt kind of coming on?
That's actually probably one of the realest things ever, is the fact that I am still young, really looking at it in hindsight, at the rest of my industry. But I've been doing it for so long that, to me, I feel like I should be way further along. But I know that God has a plan for everybody and everyone's journey is different. So I kind of just have to let it happen. So the way I get over that is just by acknowledging the fact that everything happens for a reason. Everybody's journey is different. I can't compare my life and my career to somebody else's because we're not the same. I'm Jet, they're them, and God has a plan for me. And I'm not going to be able to be like, hey, can you just lay it out for me and let me see what it's going to be like in 20 years? I kind of just got to let it happen and roll with the punches. I don't believe that he throws more at you than you can take.
No, absolutely not. You've been doing this a long time, but you're not that old. I mean, we say 4 or 5 is when you started with everything that you've been doing. How did you first get into, what did you do first? Was it the acting or the VO?
So it was technically music. Okay. My parents owned a bar restaurant here in Nashville called the Nashville Palace.
Okay.
And I started, the first time I ever got on stage there, I was 3. And I sang. And then we're really, really close with the Mandrell sisters and that whole family.
Yeah.
And their mother, the girl's mother, Mary Mandrell, said to my parents, y'all should try acting with him. And so I was 4 the first time I ever did acting.
Did you want to do that, or were your parents kind of saying, hey, do this?
It wasn't necessary. I mean, I was 4, so I kind of just would do anything. It wasn't necessarily them saying, hey, do this. I found it fun. I very much so, like I am now, never shut up as a kid, and I just talked all the time. So it was a perfect fit.
It's not
for
a
me.
bad thing.
Yeah, I was always talking. I was meant to be behind a microphone. And so it was interesting. It was something new. I was homeschooled, so it kind of fit anyways. And it just kind of happened.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And now tell me a little bit about the VO. And John Williard, who made a comment, my ears perked up when he said the beautiful name of Jesus. And absolutely, I totally get that. But John Williard, do you know who John is?
I don't think we've ever met before, no.
So you don't know who he is?
I don't think so.
He has been, well, he's no longer, but up until just a few years ago, he was the voice of the CMAs. He was
way.
He is, he's a star. I've had him on Skip Happens. I totally respect this guy. He's living my dream. He is, like you say, you turn the TV on, you'll hear his voice. You turn the radio on, he does so many different radio
I feel like
stations.
An idiot. I'm going to get flamed in the comments after this.
No, you won't. No, you won't. Believe me. But he was the guy that was like, coming up next, it'll be blah, 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 blah. And the CMA Awards.
I've gone to and watched the CMAs my entire life. Yep. So, yes.
And I know you've been to CRS. The country radio seminar, of course, for, you'll always see John there. And if you're going again this year, you got to look for him and make sure you say hello.
I will be going. John, let's meet up.
Absolutely. He's a guy that you need to get to know.
Okay.
Because he knows what he's doing.
amazing.
I mean, you do too, obviously. But, how does, let's go back to the song a little bit. I made some notes here. How does Prove Me Wrong hit differently when you perform it live?
Oh, one thing that I love about being the writer on my music is when I'm putting the song that I spent hours and hours pouring my heart and soul into, watching people stop their conversation or stop whatever it is that they're doing and turn and face the stage and listen to us play it.
Yeah.
You can hear like a room go quieter when you're playing a song. One thing that's like known amongst musicians is if you're playing a bar or if you're playing a rowdier venue, you typically don't want to play that many slow songs because that's not it's not the vibe of the room, for lack of better terms. But when we played Prove Me Wrong the other night here in Nashville, the day it came out, for a Young America's Foundation conference for 500 and some college students.
Oh, wow. Who
were all dancing and having fun and two-stepping. And then we played Prove Me Wrong, and all of them stopped and all of them listened. And as someone that is in college and goes to college with a bunch of college students, we're not the most attentive people. And so that meant a lot to me, and that made me kind of that was just really neat.
What do you mean by that? I don't get that. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Been there many years ago, but been there absolutely. Tell me a little bit how you got to know Kylie Diffie.
Erica actually met her through her mom, happened through random happenstance. And then Erica didn't know how old Kylie was. She was like, I think she's somewhat around Jet's age. We'll set up a right. And Kylie and I both were born and raised here in Nashville. We grew up around and in the music industry. And so she and I hit it off. She's kind of like my couple month older than me sister. So we just have an awesome relationship, and it turned into being amazing friends and co-writers now.
I love that. And how often do you get together and write? Do you get with Kylie, or how often are you actually getting out and about, maybe doing your thing?
So I'm writing multiple times every week. I had a write yesterday with Erica. Tomorrow is actually with Kylie and my friend Ray. So I'm writing pretty much any time that I can. And you'll typically end up hearing Erica or Kylie or my friend Ray or Corey Burton's name thrown in there.
All right. Now I have to ask you, the acting, the VO work, the putting out the music, all this that's on you, Jet, all this. How do you find time for school? Because that's not easy, dude. And, being where you are and what you're doing.
Well, I'm fortunate that I've always done school with work. I mean, I grew up working in an industry while balancing school. So it's not really that new for me. The only difference is now the work is a little bit harder than just learning my ABCs. But
it's a lot harder.
I love it. I genuinely enjoy school. I like learning. I like the tedious work. I think probably because I was homeschooled, I now find college interesting because it's so different.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of a different journey, if that makes sense. So I'm not going to complain about it too much. I enjoy it.
So you're living on your own now.
I have two roommates, but
still, I mean, you're not with mom and dad. You're out of the house doing your own thing. Your parents they're in Nashville too, right?
They're not even 15 minutes away from me.
Well, close enough if you need them.
Exactly.
So, and it doesn't matter how old you get. There's going to be a time that you're going to need mom or dad or both. So.
Hey, they needed me when they lost power with our ice storm. They came over here to warm up and charge their electric generator. So every now and again, they can use me too.
So how did, let's talk about that for a minute. That was big news, Nashville getting hit with that ice storm. And so many of my friends out there were texting me going, dude, we haven't had power for a week. We don't have, a good thing we have a gas stove because we can heat our water. But how did all that work for you? You're in an apartment complex.
I am. It was interesting. It wasn't pretty. Lost power for about 30 hours. And then the following 30 hours lost water. So it wasn't great, but it was okay. When we lost power, my roommate and I were like, well, man, we don't have anything to do. So we ended up walking I think, a little over 7.5 miles on that Sunday, just walking around town to see who had
Wow.
power, what places
Mhm,
were
mhm,
open.
mhm.
To be fair, we really wanted to watch the Patriots and Broncos game, and we really wanted to watch that football game, and we didn't have power, so we walked for a good bit until we found a bar that was finally open and we could
Right,
watch
right.
most of the second half of the game. But it
Oh,
wasn't too
wow.
bad. We played chess and
Yeah, yeah,
Risk,
yeah.
and I fell asleep via candlelight in my room. So,
You don't realize how you have it until you lose it. How much, we have these different luxuries of life and things that we do, but when it's gone, it's like, holy crap, now what are we going to do?
oh yeah,
But you find things to do, and
and
maybe it's a good thing.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
you got to be careful too. Like I'm not the kind of, like, I have my phone with me. I'm not necessarily always on it.
right.
Um, but you had to be cautious about running your phone battery down and make sure that your portable chargers were charged from before
Yeah.
the storm came. So there was a little bit of preparing to do, but then
Mhm,
we were
mhm.
actually driving back from our shows in Texas, got back Saturday night, and I got to my apartment, and the following morning, I got back late Saturday night, and then the
Uh-huh.
following morning lost power. So we got back
Wow.
and beat it just in the nick of time.
Well, I'm in the Northeast. We got all the snow. We've
Ooh,
got more snow than I've seen in God knows how many years.
you guys
Uh,
got it up there.
yeah, yeah. But you know what? I'll take the snow.
I would
We,
take
I,
snow over ice.
I've been through, we get them here in the Northeast, and we've had ice storms, and very similar to what you just went through. But it's been a while, and I would never ever want to go through that again. The
I
snow, dump it on me, baby. I'll take that.
I
So,
would take snow over ice any day of the week. Absolutely. My family's got a cattle ranch in Missouri, so
oh,
there've been
there you
plenty
go.
of years where I've
Yep.
been
Yep.
around both snow and ice and working cattle, and I don't like working around ice.
Are you going back into acting at all? You got things in the works, or what's
So
going on?
I do still audition
Okay.
whenever things come through. I actually sent in a voiceover audition yesterday.
Oh,
But like I said earlier, God doesn't throw more things at you than you can handle, and I think throwing acting into the mix 100%, as well
hmm,
as music 100%, as well as being a student,
hmm,
would get a little complicated.
hmm.
So I still do the auditions. I will take any roles and that sort of thing, but things, dials, not switches. You got to power things up and power things back in order
Yeah.
to give other things more.
So, if you don't mind me asking, though, when you do an audition, is that going through an agent that you have somebody and says, "Hey, you know what? You might be a good fit for this. Why don't you
Yes,
submit an
sir.
audition?"
I have an agent here in Nashville, Mark
Good.
Block, and then my
Oh yeah.
agent out in California, Osbrink, that I've been with since I was 5.
All right. Let me ask you this: Nashville or L.A.? Come on. Boy.
Oh no.
All right, you're
Uh,
on the fence. I totally get it. I totally get it.
I, well, it's not that I'm on the fence. It's that I don't want to make people mad that then they don't want me to come out there.
No,
Um,
no, no, no.
here's what I'll say.
Okay.
I am a Tennessee native.
Okay.
I
That's home.
never see me changing my residency from Tennessee.
Okay.
That's not to say visiting or working elsewhere
Right.
is not still fun,
Right.
but my roots will be between
It's
Tennessee
home.
and Missouri for my whole life.
Absolutely. That's home, baby.
That's
That's it.
my
That's
that's
home.
my political way of answering that question without
Oh
making
man.
anybody too mad.
Oh my God. I love that. I love that answer. How would you describe 2026 so far?
A lot busier than 2025. I thought that the summer of 2025 was busy, but so
Mhm.
far what I'm hearing, the summer of this year is going to be busier. And so that on top of school over this semester, I have to save up my class skips for being on the road with the band. So
Ah,
it's a lot of the same,
mhm.
but I think that it's going to be bigger and better, I hope.
Okay.
Because every year is like another opportunity to learn from what you did the previous and how to expand on it.
If I was to go to a Jet Jurgensmeyer, that's a tough name, dude.
It's a lot. I'm
It's a
sorry.
lot.
I
Can't you just have
I
like
just
a
got to start
Skip
going by
Clark?
Jet. I know.
Jet. I know Jet. I love that. I love that,
I
by the
need,
way.
like, Garth goes by Garth, and everybody knows who you're
Hey, it's
talking
Jet.
about.
Hey, I
There we
got
go.
Jeff on tonight. Skip happens.
Yep.
That's what it's about. Um, Now I totally lost my train of thought.
If you went to a Jet Jurgensmeyer show.
Oh yeah. So what would I see? What could I expect? Is it rocking? What's tell me about one of your shows if I was to go.
You will get to see 4 guys having a blast on stage.
Cool.
I just lowered my chair. I'm fortunate that all the guys I get to perform with and that are in my band are some of my best friends. Awesome. So we all get along really well, and we have a ton of fun playing music. That's what's important. You know, if it's not fun, why would I waste time doing it? Right. So we have a lot of fun. It's definitely rocking. I always like to say that we're going to play songs you know, songs you don't know, you know, songs that are some of mine that maybe are unreleased or maybe you've just never heard. So we'll sprinkle in a little bit of everything in there. We might, you know, throw a little Three Doors Down, maybe a little Red Hot Chili Peppers in there, something like that. So, and then jump right back to Zach Top.
That's cool. What is there? I'm trying to think here. How can one thing you still want to prove to yourself? Is there anything that you've been thinking about?
I think I'll feel like I've accomplished what I see myself accomplishing when I get to perform at the Ryman for the first time.
I can't believe you haven't had at least that opportunity.
It hasn't happened yet. It all in due time, I hope. So, you know, my goal is to be able to step into the circle at the Opry. My goal is to play Bridgestone Arena, you know, all the places that I grew up going to shows. But the Ryman Auditorium was the Opry.
That's the mother
church of country music. So that is where I can't wait to perform.
Have you, you know, at the country radio seminar, of course, we spent a lunchtime over at the Ryman. Have you been to one of those?
I haven't. I've always been doing my interviews during that.
Yeah. You know,
I haven't got to yet.
I was going to ask, when you're sitting there watching everybody else do their thing, if what goes through your mind going, I need to be on that stage. And that's why I was kind of wondering.
Well, every show I've been to that's there, every time I just find myself looking around at the legacy that is that building.
How can you not think about that? It's amazing.
I just can't wait. And then there's another, we were talking about the CMA Awards. I've grown up going to the CMA Awards my whole life. So I'm counting down the days to when I get to not be accepting an award, because that's a rather ambitious, but rather be sitting on the floor though with the other artists.
Just kind of hanging out.
When I can be sitting there and not feel quite like an imposter, even though I'm sure that'll be there a little bit, but feel like I can be here and not be out of place. I think that'll be really cool.
Well, I think it's definitely going to happen. Just give it time. All good things happen over time. You know that.
Thank you.
You know, as God looks down on you, it's like, he's got you going in the right direction. So
yes, absolutely. Well, you see my sign, Jesus is the way.
I see that, even though it's kind of backwards because of the camera, but that's okay.
I saw that. I love it. Camera, I got to flip it around now.
No, you know, in your settings, and anybody else that does this, you can mirror your camera. You can hit it. Yeah, I'm just saying.
I'll have to do that next time.
If I wasn't, everything behind me is right, but in the beginning when I first started doing this, I'm going, why is everything backwards? What do I need to do? Well, there's a little setting. You just go, doot.
I got to work on it for next time now.
There you go. Yeah, for the 4th time.
Yes.
That you come on. It's pretty cool. You know, it's pretty awesome. Prove Me Wrong is out there. You know, we've gone over all the other stuff before, but your music is online. It lives online. I would imagine anybody that wants to find out more about you, where can they go?
So everything from my social media, my music, my website is just my name, Jet Jurgensmeyer.
That's hard.
And if you type in JET and then a J for Jurgensmeyer, I'll come up.
Oh, there you go.
It's not the most common name in the world, so I'm typically the only one that's there.
You did that right. How about your radio tour? How did that? I mean, you've been on a couple of those now, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I have.
In the early mornings and going in on morning shows and
singing at 7 a.m. or sometimes 6:30 in the morning. I'm already a morning person, but not necessarily performing that early in the morning.
You have your early morning voice.
Yes. It's rather, it's a different part of yourself. You don't know it's there until it's there. But those are the moments that I remember because I've grown up listening to country music my whole life. So now I get to perform on country music radio, and that's just so.
Have
so
you
neat.
had the opportunity to actually be on stage next to somebody where you kind of go, oh my God, you feel very intimidated? God, I don't know if I was in your shoes, if I was standing next to Luke Bryan or maybe even Trace Adkins or somebody that I'd be like, oh my God.
Not necessarily on stage per se.
Mm-hmm.
There have been a couple writers rounds where I've played with some people like Gordy Sampson and stuff.
Oh, very cool.
Phenomenal songwriters. Where I've played writers rounds with them where I've been like, okay, she wrote a number one, he wrote a number one, he just played a number one. Hey guys, I'm Jet. Here's one that I released. So there's a couple of those moments. I played around with a guy named Grady Block. Him and his brother Rocky have written a ton of and Ernest and Hardy songs.
All right.
And I felt like the biggest idiot during sound check. Grady starts performing Ernest's song "Why Dallas," who he did with Lucas Nelson. I love the song and know every word to the song. So I'm humming along with him while he's doing his sound check. We're just sound checking on stage. And I went, man, that's such a good song. And he goes, thanks, man. And I look at him, I was like, you didn't write that. He goes, yes, I did. And I went, you're kidding. And he goes, no, me and Ern wrote that. And I was like, wow. Okay. Yeah, I felt real dumb after that one.
Well, you know what? I mean, we've all had that happen. Yeah. Whether it's doing what you do or doing what I do.
Grady was great, though. Every time I've seen him since, he goes, what's up, Jet? He gives me a hug. He's super cool.
See? That's good.
I hope that he doesn't remember that moment. I hope he only remembers every moment after that.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. It's just, everything you've done, just amazing. It's amazing. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I hope to be a little bit further down the road of the same journey I'm already on. I hope to be touring. I hope to be, if I'm not touring on my own, I hope to be opening for somebody and being on the road with my band. I love those guys. They're awesome. My parents are on the road with us because I'm their only kid. So my dad does all the band driving. My mom does all the road manager stuff. And we just kind of have a good time.
Yeah, I remember I said hello to you. We were at the dinner with, I think you were with your dad, and we went to the Grassroots dinner.
Yes.
I went as a guest, and I'm trying to think. I'm having a brain fart. Who was the guest of honor that night? Remember, it was for the song that was coming out. He's a legend. He's a legend. Oh, my God. I can't believe I can't. I
feel terrible because there's so many people that sing on that song. Larry Gatlin, Vince
Yes,
Gill,
yes. They are all... Yes. Oh my God.
Pat Boone.
Pat Boone. There you go. Yes.
Pat Boone.
That was amazing. And God rest. I mean, the guy is just phenomenal.
I guess that is another time. Thank God I wasn't in the studio with all of those people at the same time recording my portion of that song.
Yeah.
Because ironically enough, Vince Gill and I sing the same line of that song, just at different times of the song. Dude. I'm so glad that we were not in the studio at the same time because I don't want to have to follow Vince Gill singing, or I don't want to have to go before Vince Gill. So everyone's like, get this kid out of here so we can hear Vince sing. Either way, it's a lose-lose situation.
No.
And I'm glad I didn't have to. But that was a really, really neat
Maybe
experience.
Vince is going, I don't want to sing next to this kid. He's too good.
Totally.
Maybe he's saying that. Maybe Vince is saying that about you. Come on.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I think so.
Thank you.
I mean, Vince, he's been through it all.
This is true. He's been around for a bit.
This is the next big thing right here. So
thank you.
That's cool. Jet, it's so good chatting with you. It's so good catching up with you. Just thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day. I know it's crazy with school and doing your artist thing. I mean, like I say, I just don't get it. I don't know how you do it.
Thank you.
But you know what? You have a passion, you have a dream, and you're going for it. Thanks for coming on Skip Happens tonight. Thanks for telling us about the new song, Prove Me Wrong, which is out now. It dropped on Friday.
Yes.
And
it's out.
Yeah. So they can go online. They can get it wherever they can go to any DSP and probably download it, pay for it, download it, and it's theirs.
Yes, sir. Everywhere you buy or listen to music, go check it out.
It's very cool. Jet, you stay right there, but we need to say goodbye. Thank you for coming on tonight, having a little chat about the new song and getting caught up. It's so good to see you. Hope to see you in a few weeks at CRS. I'll make it a point to come over and say hello. And,
yes, sir.
For coming on like all my guests, you're going to get a Skip Happens mug. So.
Why don't you just bring me the Skip Happens mug? Give it to me.
Because it'll probably break on the plane.
That's true. That is
I
true.
don't, you know what I actually thought about, because a lot of artists have been asking for them, and I'm like, maybe I just ought to order a bunch of them, have them shipped right to the Omni, and then pick them up when I get there and just give them out. But
you could do that.
I don't know. Anyways, no, I'll send it to you. You'll have it by then. You'll have it by then. Just got to promise me that you take a picture holding it and you send it to me.
Of course.
And I'll make sure it gets posted. So, Jet Jurgensmeyer, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Skip Happens. My name is Skip Clark. This is Skip Happens.